Hello, I'm Gabrielle and welcome to Cloth Edit. I have been wanting to start this YouTube channel for years, before Cloth Edit existed. I've been sewing on and off for decades, but probably, it's been about 8 years since I've really thrown myself into sewing, and now I would say most, if not 99% of my wardrobe is me made. My channel will be primarily about my makes. I really don't want to be just showing you rolls and rolls of fabric. That's not why I'm doing it. I love the sewing community. I love seeing what other people have made, and I'm so interested about new patterns and what people are making. I want to be a part of it, a bigger part of it. And so I think this is the perfect avenue. The thing I make the most of is dresses. I spent decades wearing a minimalist uniform almost. I wore a heap of black, and I wore pants and shirts, and and it was very practical, and it did me very well for what I was doing. I was studying and working in retail, and it suited me. But in recent years I've just rejected it. I just love colour. I love print. I love block colour. I certainly have some neutrals in the shop, but what I'm drawn to is generally print and bold colour. Right, so I thought I'd start just with my latest make. So this is the Named Patterns Hali. There are two options. It's one pattern, but it's the Hayley wrap dress or the Hayley wrap jumpsuit, and it's a beast of a pattern. Here it is. Here, this is my copy. So I can open it. I don't know if you can get a sense of that. It weighs, it's over 400 grams, 420 something, 430 grams. It's a big pattern. For those who aren't familiar with indie patterns, the packaging's always a treat, and so because this has got some serious skirt pieces in it, so there's a lot of pattern there. Can you imagine sticking that together? And of course the little booklet, but you won't be able to see that here. I'll insert some images here. So you can see by the line drawings how unique it is. Now, there are a lot of wrap dress patterns around, I know, but I loved the look of this for a few reasons. I loved the sleeve. I loved the little cuff, the gathering, and then the little cuff. I love, most of all, how the skirt is constructed. It's beautiful. So it has an upper skirt and a lower skirt. So the upper skirt is more A-line, just a slight A-line, and then the lower skirt has fullness in it. It's sort of cut on, I don't know, is it a half circle? There's quite a bit of fullness. I've got some video so you can see me moving and spinning in it to get a sense of the fullness in it. It's beautiful. I've put it on again today, but I was wearing this for most of yesterday, and you can put it on. I was moving, I was tidying up the studio, I had lunch, I was in and out of a car, washing up, whatever, and the wrap didn't move. It was brilliant. So what I might do is I might pause here, and I might put this on my mannequin so I can talk to you more about it. Okay, now this is another recent make which I will talk about in my next video. It's a hack. The Friday Pattern Company Davenport, and Saguaro. I use the bodice, but more about that in my next one. So back to the Hayley, the Named Patterns Hayley. I just thought I would probably miss things if I didn't sort of look at it on the mannequin, so hope you don't mind me doing it this way. Right, now I mentioned that I love the sleeve, and it's a beautiful sleeve. It's not gathered at the shoulder, but it's gathered and comes into this beautiful little cuff. I don't usually do a lot of hand sewing, but I did take the time to hand sew that down, so the finish is very pretty. The back, it has a lovely back yoke. They don't provide the instructions for the burrito method in the pattern, and I did do it, but it's a small yoke and it was tricky to do. So next time I just don't think I'll bother. I think I'll just do it their way. But it's just a lovely small yoke, and there's a back facing and just a turnover facing for the front of the bodice. One thing I love about the bodice is the placement of the darts, and I mentioned it in an Instagram post when I had just done the bodice. They were just, I'll start again. I always have to shorten and lower bust darts, and I think those of us with bigger busts will have had that same experience. So it's nice to not have to do that. Now I don't know how that will translate into those with smaller cup sizes, but all I can say is I just went by the bust measurement. I didn't do, upper bust and do a full bust adjustment. I just went via the bust measurement, and because it's drafted well, it just works. What do I mean by that? Often if you have a bigger bust size, some pattern companies, they will adjust the shoulders, so they think because your bust is bigger, your shoulders will get broader and broader, and a lot of indie pattern companies, they don't have that problem as far as I can tell. Right, so love the bust darts. Now the wrap, as I said, hopefully I didn't cut that bit out, it is very comfortable and stays in place. Like I had it on for hours and hours and it didn't move, didn't gape. It was just, it's really good, a good wrap. Now I was mentioning the upper and lower skirt, so you're not going to see the lower skirt here, but I'll insert pictures for that. But the upper skirt is just a soft A-line. So if I pull out the hips here, there's not a huge amount of ease at the hips, but I mean you don't get the feeling that it's tight because you've got that wrap, so it just needs to fit, it just needs a little bit of ease. And then the lower skirt starts at mid-thigh and it has this beautiful flare, beautiful movement to it. What else can I tell you? It's they suggest ribbons. Well, the pattern says to use ribbons for the tie. I just had lots of scraps, sort of long pieces, so I just sewed my scraps together to make actual ties rather than a contrasting ribbon. I sort of, given it's a print, I just think that would be better rather than having something contrasting on top of the floral print, not floral, botanical fruity print. On the inside it has that whole opening, if you like. So on the right hand side, the whole opening, and then on the left hand side there's a little loop lost my light, a bit of loop, a loop to pull the tie through so it sits in place on your waist. It's a lovely length. I didn't make any adjustments other than leaving something off. I didn't put in the pockets. There were inseam pockets that weren't the sort that affix into the waist seam. So I thought I'm not a fan of those because they sort of move down and cannot sit very nicely. So I didn't put them in, but I could put them in, but I'd probably swap them out for, I think it's my Vogue, the 9253. I really like those pockets. I'd probably use those. But I love this dress. It's great. I want to make another one. I mean, I love a bold print. I mean, it would have looked great in this actually, although I did think of something like this, but because of some of the smaller pieces, I thought there's more of a chance for the print to be cut up. So I think this size print works quite well. Yes, I would love to make another one, another bold print, or just a plain colour. I've actually got some fabric put aside. I'm looking over there. It's a hot pink linen in my cruise collection. I've got sort of 2 remnants that I've put aside for myself, and then I've got another end of roll put aside. I think there might be just about enough to make one of these. But my other plan is to make the jumpsuit. Now, I don't wear jumpsuits. I rarely wear pants. Only in winter do I wear pants, like trousers. I don't find them particularly comfortable or flattering, all those things. They don't bring me joy. But I think that jumpsuit would bring me joy. It's got that same fullness in that upper skirt. It seems to have that same fullness as this is, so not overly full, just enough. And there isn't that extra fullness at the bottom, but it has that wrap. So from what I can see, the wrap in the jumpsuit is just a continuation of that upper skirt. So that upper skirt A-line just continued down. So I think that would be really beautiful. It's this is quite fabric hungry because of that lower skirt, that lower fullness in the skirt. The jumpsuit isn't as fabric hungry. So that's something to think of as well. The fabric that I made my Hayley in is in the New Season collection, New Season linen collection for spring summer 22 to 23, and they're available on the site. There is a little bit more of that collection to come in a couple of weeks, but most of it's up there already. This one is called Bountiful, and the name comes from just the bounty of fruit that's on it. So you have, let me get my glasses, pineapples and bananas and oranges and lemons and plums, I think they are, figs, all sorts of fruit, and then beautiful flowers. I'm terrible at the names of flowers, so you'll have to see those for yourself. But it's just stunning, beautiful, lots of jewel tones in this, and it's all on a light grey background, sort of a really soft, cool grey background. It's even got a touch of pink in it. So lovely fabric. I should mention while I'm at it that this also comes in a chartreuse colorway, which has been very popular. So same print, it's the same fruits, the same foliage, the same flowers, but just on a beautiful soft chartreuse background. I've just noticed berries. I hadn't noticed those before. There you go. I think I could even wear this. I don't usually wear chartreuse, but it's got enough of the, it's, as with a lot of my prints, I love prints that if there's a lot of warm tones in them, it includes some cooler colours as well. So this includes some soft and, you know, pale pink and dusty pinks, and purples. So it's a way that someone who can't usually wear warmer tones, or it's not their preference, it's a way that you can wear them. So the other new pattern that Named has just released is the Sealy dress and blouse, and I'll put better pictures here, closer pictures. You can see that it has beautiful details. I love that sleeve with the pleats, and those pleats are sort of duplicated in the skirt as well. The skirt has a beautiful sort of very slight high-low effect. Beautiful yoke gathers come in under a tuck in the front yoke. The back yoke has a beautiful curve to it. Beautiful gathers again into that yoke, and it's a tied at the back. It reminds me of the Pauline Alice Soeli, which I'll put a picture here for you. It reminds me of that. So a beautiful pattern by Named. When I did the order for those new patterns, I had to catch up because I missed out on the other new releases, so the ones that were released earlier this year. I sort of had done an order and wasn't ready to do another one because, I mean, shipping's horrendous from Finland, as you can imagine, and these are hefty patterns. But I thought I mean, you've probably seen these, but I was excited about them, so I thought I'd show you. So the Ilma smock dress, the feature with this one is the curved skirt and the frill that also is shaped to fit beautifully into that curve. The other one that's been getting a lot of attention, the Cisco dress, formerly called the Cisco interlace dress and top. You can also just make the top as well. Lovely. I can see my niece in that one. I love this, and this is on my list for this spring/summer. The Taker blouse dress. Beautiful. Has the look of a tea dress, doesn't it? It reminds me of that traditional sort of tea dress, you know, very high sort of empire line shape, you know, sort of curved under the bust, gathers at the bust, panel A-line. I probably will change the sleeve length in my version, but I love that. Another one from Named, and their lovely trouser pattern, the Aina trousers and culottes. Gorgeous pattern, very practical with that elastic in the centre back piece, making them very comfortable to wear and practical. So that's it from me for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my Hayley dress. As I said, I'll talk to you more about my hack in the next video. I'll also work out my vlogging schedule. I had an idea of more of a weekly vlog format. So an accumulation of little bits throughout the week. I really like watching that format, so I don't know what you think. Let me know. Or if it's just more practical to do shorter videos based around different makes or launches of patterns, for example. So, and I'll also learn to look in the lens and not the screen. I'm learning. I thought just before I went, I mentioned the hot pink linen that I was thinking of. Now it's not going to look great on me because I've got red lipstick on. Here are my remnants. But I thought that could be nice, something in a block colour, which I rarely do nowadays. So I was thinking that hot pink in the jumpsuit version of the Hayley. Or I've been wanting to make the Homer and Hal's Ingrid dress for ages. It's got, I'm going to have to put my glasses on again. It has, I mean, it's a boxy sort of dress. I probably won't make it as oversized as, you know, suggested, because I know I won't wear it. But I love it. Gee, I love it. I'll insert a photo. It's, as you can see, the skirt is staggered, so it's got a center front seam and it's gathered onto a bodice, but it's got this step, and I love that, and I actually think that would be quite flattering. The back is ever so slightly staggered from memory. Anyway, I thought that would look really nice in a block colour as well. I think that unique feature would be rather lost in a print, which is why I've been thinking of a block colour. I was thinking of the hot pink, or I've got some denim shirting, so it would be a similar look to the picture. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Next up, either a Hayley jumpsuit or one of these, but I'm a fickle sewer. I can change my mind very easily. So I've got lots to talk to you about in the next vlog, but I'm going to leave you with some images of me swanning around in my new Bountiful Hayley wrap dress. Until next time, bye bye.